Hello, I'm Vince White. I'm an employment attorney, and we're answering publicly posted questions on Avvo.com, trying to help people out who have questions for, employment attorneys like me. And here is our question today. What are my daughter's rights after being falsely accused of stealing from her now former workplace? My daughter worked for a large retail chain as a customer service associate. She was just terminated because they have accused her of stealing, when in fact, the item they believe was stolen was her own property, and she only placed it into a bag from the store and then it put it in her locker. She was never questioned about this incident until 3 weeks later. In addition to that, she was banned from the store. She has a credit account with them and has been a customer with them even prior to being employed there. We don't understand why, if they thought she stole something, why she was not questioned that day. Let me stop here because the question goes on. But up to this point, under federal law, there's probably not much of a claim against the store there. They're allowed to make mistakes. If your daughter is an at-will employee, then any non-discriminatory reason, even if they're wrong, right? Even if they're wrong, any non-discriminatory reason can be grounds for termination for an at-will employee under federal law. That being said, the question goes on. She also has not been given her last paycheck. So generally speaking, employers only have 2 weeks from the date that you would normally be paid to get you that paycheck. So you're due that money, it sounds like. And then the question goes on again. I strongly feel this is a case of racial profiling. In addition to all of that, they have associates who run people's credit without their consent. They target English language learners and allow associates to open accounts without proper identification. I know this because I briefly worked for them when I was in between jobs. Okay, so the key part in there is where the person asking says, I strongly feel this is a case of racial profiling. So what's the exception to at-will employment, right? You can be fired for any non-discriminatory reason. But if the reason's racial, that's discriminatory, isn't it? So now you have a claim under federal law. You probably have a claim under state law as well. I can't advise you as to your state law claims. But I can say if you think it's racially motivated, if this termination is racially motivated, if this accusation is racially motivated, that you now are in the realm of having a racial discrimination claim in the workplace, and it might be worth your time to speak to an employment attorney. And also, you should get that paycheck. If that paycheck is late, they owe you that money. That is your daughter's money. She better get it, or it's time to smack them around, right? In terms of collecting the money, that's the easy part. You can probably contact your state's Department of Labor. They will probably collect it for you free of charge. You don't necessarily need an attorney for that. You also may not need an attorney for the racial case, the racial discrimination case, but I would definitely recommend getting one, or at least speaking to one before you file, because you can kind of dig down into the details of why you think this is racial, how you might be able to prove it, and what tactically you'd want to do in this case, how you'd want to go about proving it, what you would want to demand, right? Is it worth suing? Is the case valuable enough? There's lots of questions, and you're going to need lots of answers so you can make a fully informed decision. I'm sorry. I'm sorry they did this to your daughter. That it's not okay, right? But I hope you get them, and good luck.